You're live.
Okay, everyone. I see we have several hundred people in. I want to welcome everybody. This is the first time I'm doing a YouTube live. And reason I'm doing that, we do these, on a bi-monthly basis, I should say, with my inner circle. And it's actually a little different. I can actually see and hear them. We can, answer questions. We can communicate with one another. And I enjoy it. I really enjoy getting involved with the people in my crew. We have 17,000 members in the crew. We did a live with them last week. It was terrific. So, I'm going to really encourage all of you to look into that, join.michaelfranzese.com. If you want to have, more engagement with me, that's the place to do it. But today I thought that, we would just do a Q&A. I get so many questions in all the comment sections.
That I'm going to make. I once sat on a Senate committee. I was subpoenaed to a Senate committee. This was after I cooperated about boxing. So I'm going to tell you the story. It's a little confusing, but I'm going to tell you the story. It was during the time when Mike Tyson was getting in the ring, and he was killing everybody he got in the ring with. Don King was promoting these fights and putting up big, serious money in the millions.
Of all the videos that I run, and obviously can't get to all of them. We get, thousands and thousands just about on every video. And I appreciate that. I know you're tuning in and most of you are enjoying the content. So we appreciate that. We're closing in, I think, on 600,000 members. We really started the channel last year. So I really appreciate all of you that are tuning in.
That guy Solo's gonna wear a hole in his shoes.
So they would pick out opponents for him to fight, and they would pay them. One of the people they went to is Ronaldo Snipes.
I see a lot of people from everywhere: Scotland, Germany, Ireland, Idaho, everywhere. So.
All right. Hey, I'm gonna move you. Hey, we go. Yeah, I like this. Hey, wait.
Gentlemen, Goldfinger.
Heavyweight, good guy. I knew him personally. I went to a gym. I knew him very well. I knew his manager, Sal Pascal, and he had told me they offered $250,000 or $300,000 to Snipe.
I appreciate Argentina. I appreciate everybody from all over the world. I know we have a lot of followers everywhere, so I appreciate. So the way this goes, I can't see you, but I can look at the chats and answer some of the questions.
Why weren't we told that New York and the West Coast were in on this?
Look who's talking.
I do not do business with Chicago.
I thought we had a private business deal to settle. Now I find I'm attending our Hood's convention.
Goldfinger, I may...
Snipes was a good fighter. He had mostly all wins. He had some heavyweight wins. I mean, he was good. But that wasn't enough money. The problem was...
Hey, we go. Yeah, I like this. Hey, wait.
Gentlemen, Goldfinger.
And again,
why weren't we told that New York and the West Coast were...
me, it's all about my inner circle. Join.michaelfranzese.com. I know you get a lot out of it. We put a lot of content in there. Yesterday, we had something about networking, how important.
Goldfinger, why weren't we told that New York and the West Coast were in on this?
Look who's talking.
I do not do business with Chicago.
I thought we had a private business deal to settle. Now I find I'm attending our Hood's convention.
Goldfinger, I made a delivery.
He wasn't current.
Where is my money?
He didn't have any fights recently. So we had a job of building him up that we can maybe make more money. There was a guy in Italy. It was the Italian champ. His name was Francesco Damiani.
It's helped me in my life. You want to hear stories about my past life and how they apply to what I'm doing today and how they may apply to what you're doing, that's the place to do it. But let's get right into some of the questions. I see there's some good ones already. There's somebody from Hawaii.
I made a delivery, too.
You all made the deliveries we contracted for.
And you owe me $1 million.
Damiani had the Italian belt. He was a heavyweight. So I thought, reaching out to them, his manager, Umberto Brangiti, was a made guy in Italy, and he had this fighter.
I owe each of you $1 million in gold bullion.
So pay.
Gentlemen, you can have the $1 million today, or 10 millions tomorrow.
Did you say 10 million?
In November, I believe. I'm speaking at a church there, so if you follow me, you'll probably find out where. Maybe I can meet you there. And man, these things are going pretty quick. Can we slow them down at all? We got several.
In gold bullion.
So pay.
Gentlemen, you can have the $1 million today, or 10 millions tomorrow.
Did you say 10 million?
As soon as my bank opens in the morning.
Banks don't open on Sunday.
My bank
I
will.
was talking with John Gotti about this whole situation. He was encouraging me to see if I could get it done. I got Johnny Gambino, was with the Zips with us. He was the captain. He knew these people on the other side.
What's with that trick pool table?
Hundred people in already. Okay, did you know Eddie Kleback from Pittsburgh? Curious, we were told he was connected. Never heard of him, my friend. Doesn't mean he wasn't connected, but I certainly don't know him. Somebody from Montreal, Canada, somebody from Las Vegas, person in Las Vegas. I don't know if you ever saw my show there. I had a show there over at the plaza called The Mob
Over
Story.
here. Hey, cover those doors. Turn those lights back on.
What are you trying to pull, Goldfinger?
There is no cause for alarm, gentlemen.
I don't like being cooped up like this.
Well, he didn't know them personally, but he knew people who knew them, especially that the guy was a friend of ours. So we reached him, and we told him we would set up a fight in the United States. We would set up a fight with Mike Tyson for a big payday. They were immediately interested.
This is my bank. The gold depository at Fort
It was
Knox,
about
gentlemen.
the history of Las Vegas, set to music and dance. Very successful show. We were going to be on the Strip last year, but obviously COVID closed us down. We may come back next year. We'll see how that goes. And let me see. My name is John, and I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Well, you know, that's where I was.
The deal was that he would have to come into the United States and fight a contender first. So she's a champ, he's got a belt, he fights a contender, he beats this guy, a contender, and now he's going to fight Mike Tyson.
In
Big
its
money
vaults are $15 billion. The entire gold supply of the United States.
Knock off Fort Knox.
Got a key or
Born and
something?
raised.
Of a kind.
Greenpoint, Brooklyn was my dad's hometown. That's where I was raised. Then we moved out to Long Island. Still love Greenpoint. It's changed a lot, that's for sure. Can you cover the 1991 Mobsters movie on the next Mob Movie Monday? I'll get to that. You know, I like that film. I think that's
There
one
are
Christian Slater,
35,000
if I'm not
troops stationed
mistaken.
around there.
41,000.
And who's going to say boo to them, Goldfinger?
Hey, what's going on here? What is it? Hey,
Italian champion, Mike Tyson. He just beat a contender. Big money fight. Everything is going beautiful. He was going to come in. He was going to fight this Ray Mercer, beat him easily, come in now and fight Ronaldo Snipes, our guy.
A bunch of the younger guys. It was a pretty good film, pretty well done. Lucky Luciano and a couple of the guys. It was about that era. So yeah, I'll get to it in the future. And we have Yankees game. Yankees just lost to Seattle, so let's not even talk about them. Crazy season that they're having. They're up, they're down. You know, who knows where they are. How many times did you meet Roy DeMeo? Not very often.
We would fix the fight, and he would lose. Snipes now has the Italian belt, a guy who beat a contender, and Snipes is in perfect position to make big money. The $250,000, $300,000 that they were offering him, that number would go $1 million plus, easily. We make a deal with Snipes and his partner, Sal. We would give Snipes $500,000. Sal would get $150,000. We would get the balance, $350,000 or $400,000, and we would get the rest. John Gotti was on cloud.
I met him a couple of times. I'll tell you a quick story. I had 2 Jaguars at one time back in the 80s, and both of them were stolen at one point in time, one morning. Both of them were stolen. So I made a couple of calls around town, and I did find out that they were at Roy's Chop Shop, and I did get them back. And, you know, Roy and I kind of laughed over that back then. But I didn't know him really well, I'll be honest with you, but I did have occasion to meet him. Everybody knows Roy's story. Pretty many of you do. You know, kind of sad the way it ended, but he was one of the rougher guys, I can tell you that. Okay, let me see. We got to slow this down. Tell us about Gas Pipe. You know, there's
Joe Watts, even we tapped him. He knew somebody who can help with the ratings and push this whole thing. The guy was in Vegas. So I got my guys, Mario and Joe Polito. They owned Gem Atlas Steel. They were with me. They got their wives. I went with my wife. It's a bullshit vacation. But what it really was about is I was going to meet this guy who
is. I think you do. If not, look him up. You know, he's doing, I think, 400 years in prison. You know, tough story there. He cooperated for a while. Then I believe they threw him out of the witness protection program. A lot of people talk about Gas Pipe like he was the one that started the whole gas tax fraud business. I can tell you that's not true. There was a lot of people that were in the gas tax fraud business, you know, defrauding the government out of tax. I was one of the principal players, myself and Larry Iorizzo. All I can tell you is I didn't invent it. We didn't create it.
Some heavyweight stuff to promote it and get it higher. The higher we get it, the more money we make, the more the cut up is going to be. Everybody's tickled pink. I go to Vegas, and we do that. I have commitments all over the place. We're ready to go. Everything is nailed down. The Italian fighter comes in, and he's going to beat up this Ray Mercer. He's a contender, but it's an easy win for our side. We don't even have to talk with Ray Mercer. We don't have to include him. He's going to get beat up, no doubt in our minds. The fight is set. It goes. Ray Mercer wins the fight.
I think we took it to another level. I think we did it better than most of the people did. And we had a pretty long life. We ran it for about 7 or 8 years. So that was a good run. And, you know, we were able to switch things up when the government kind of seen what we were doing. But, you know, eventually it ended. My partner, Larry,